I was like completely naked. Why am I telling this story? Hey everyone, it's Natalie. Welcome back to my channel for another video. So I have a stormy, drizzly day going on right now, and all the kids are in bed, and I thought it would just be a perfect time to sit down and do sort of a casual, old school Q&A. I love doing these, and I'm in the mood for one. So you guys seem to be too, because I got a lot of questions coming in on my Instagram. Let me just straight out of the gate send you guys to the last Q&A that I did. If you are someone who is curious about the question, are we going to have more kids? Because I keep getting that question and I have already answered it. So definitely go check out the last Q&A that I did. But I am going to answer a question now. First question says, how often are you breastfeeding now that Haley is on solids, and do you worry about her getting the right amount of milk? That's a good question. I don't worry about her getting the right amount of milk because we've always kind of done on-demand breastfeeding during the day, and I usually only breastfeed her when it's obvious that she is hungry. And so I feed her 2 meals a day, morning and night, and then on demand in between those meals. And babies are very intuitive and they eat instinctively, and so when she wants to eat, she lets me know and I feed her, and then I just know that she's getting enough food. The next question is from Emma Joel, and I think I've answered this in a Q&A a long time ago, but I'll answer it again today. She says, will you guys be getting a dog when the kids are older? And the answer to that is maybe. We're not ready for a dog as it is right now. I do have some pet allergies, so that is definitely a factor. And then something that West and I have discussed is we want our kids to want a dog enough that we would be then handing over some responsibility to them once we do get a dog. We're several years out before we can have a dog. My question is, how did you guys decide which boy you were going to name Judah and which Liam? Love from France. So we knew that our firstborn son's name would be Liam. West and I picked that name out a long time ago. Actually, I think I've already answered this question too, sometime a long time ago. And we had a hard time picking Judah's name. We went back and forth on several. We knew we wanted something from the Bible, and we loved how it rolled off the tongue, and we thought together the names really worked. And so Liam was baby A when I was pregnant, Judah was baby B, and so we planned that baby A would be Liam, and baby A was born first. And so our firstborn son ended up being Liam, and the name we loved, Judah, ended up being baby B, Judah. What's your most embarrassing childhood memory? My most embarrassing childhood memory actually involves Weston, but he doesn't remember it. So, okay, little story time. So, a long time ago, at the house my parents are actually in right now, they've been there since I was 10 or 11. We had only been there a couple of days, and we didn't yet have any blinds or curtains, any window treatments in our house yet. And we lived on a road that's more remote in the town that we're in. They live on 5 acres, and it's a dark road. There's like not even lines painted on the road, and there's no street lights or anything. It's a very quiet road. And so my sisters and I were getting ready for bed in our bedroom that we shared, and we were getting our jammies on. My sister Sarah was like 8, I was like 10, around there, and we were just dancing around all silly. We were just being total goofballs, singing at the top of our lungs as per usual. My mom was like, you might want to be careful, you don't just dance in front of a window that's open. We're like, Mom, there's no one drives on our street, come on, like lighten up. And so I changed my shirt and I was like completely naked. Why am I telling this story? We're dancing around like idiots, naked, and sure enough, someone comes driving up our driveway. What do you know? It's Weston's family. Him and his brother and his mom and dad just come cruising up our driveway. It's dark outside, our room is really bright, and I'm naked in front of the window, and I just like dropped to the floor. I was so embarrassed. My sister was too. We were both just like not fully dressed, and we were like, oh my gosh, who's here? And when we realized that it was the Bennetts driving up our driveway, we were so mortified. So mortified. It was awful. Like, I remember that sinking feeling like, Oh my gosh. My dad, I think, ended up asking Mr. Bennett, like, I apologize, the girls were being a little crazy, and they were getting ready for bed, and he's like, oh, I didn't even notice, like, I didn't see anything, you're good. And I don't know if my father-in-law would even remember that. Like, it was so long ago. That was, what, 15 years ago? Oh my gosh. But that, like, whenever someone asks me what my most embarrassing moment was, I have another one that's in my adulthood, but in my childhood, oh my gosh, that takes the cake, because I literally thought the entire Bennett family, of all boys, except for the mom, of course, saw me naked. Oh my gosh, that was so embarrassing. Annie Hilly asks, when do you do your quiet time? If you saw my morning routine video, you will have seen that's when I do my quiet time. I usually try to get up before the kids do. Sometimes it's not successful. This morning, it's a prime example of that. Some dude across the street decided to start up his big old Mondo truck and like rev the engine 27 and a half times at 4:45 in the morning, and that woke my kids up, and by 5:15 they were ready to go. And usually I don't get up until like 6 or 6:30. That's when my alarm is set, and usually on a normal morning they're up at 7, and so I get between 20 minutes to 40 minutes, an hour's worth of quiet time in the morning. I will link my whole morning routine below, but as a part of my morning routine, in addition to like taking a shower and tidying up and getting breakfast started and stuff, I also sit down and read my Bible and do some journaling and just kind of breathe a little bit before all the craziness starts. Someone asks, motherhood seems to come so easily to you. And you manage your busy life so well. However, when I had my second, I was suddenly a mom to 2 under 2. I became so overwhelmed, anxious, depressed, and I'm having a hard time accepting this is my life now. Did you ever have any of these feelings when you had your boys and Haley? How did you manage to deal with stress and bad days? That is a very good question, and I never want my life to look absolutely perfect and like I don't have struggles, but as a YouTuber, I have chosen to give kind of like the highlight reel of my life. And so I will express frustration and bad days, but that's not like what all of my videos are about. I like to really just accentuate the positive, because that's the videos I like to see on YouTube. I make videos that I would want to watch. But aside from that, I have bad days. I have really bad days, and in some of my baby updates, I have touched on it. I have dealt with anxiety. I have dealt with depression. And I have dealt with stress. Like, I totally hear what you are saying. And some days are better than others. I think the thing that has helped me the most is just to kind of realize that we have to take it one day at a time. I get the most overwhelmed when I look 2 weeks in the future. I literally can only take it one day at a time. Obviously, you plan, we know we're taking a vacation in April, and we know that this is going to happen in December, and blah, blah, blah. But if I really just try to narrow my scope of my life and what has to be done to a day-to-day basis, that's how I survive. Now, that's just based on my personality and how I process my life. Some people, that is so not what would work for them, and actually having a more future-minded perspective would help them not get too caught up in the here and now. So you just kind of got to figure out what works for you. But another thing I think that really helps is knowing that I'm not the only mom who feels this way, and not letting myself get just kind of drowned in the guilt of not liking my life. You guys, so many days, literally in the last week, I have looked at Weston and I have said, I can't do this anymore. I don't enjoy my life right now. I am so frustrated. I am so overworked. I am so, and I don't feel the reward right now. I feel like my kids hate me because all I do is tell them no. And I feel like I'm just like the mommy sergeant. And it's a stage in life, and this is what Weston always tells me. He's like, this is just a stage. It's just a season our family is in. It will get better in some aspects. It will get harder in other aspects. And I think something that moms hear a lot from the older generation is, oh, you're going to miss this. please don't give in to the guilt in the moment of going, what am I gonna miss about this? This is so hard. I wipe so many butts per day, it's not even funny. My hand permanently smells like child feces. You get to a point where you're like, this is not what I want to do. This is not what I want for my life. Do you know how many messes I've cleaned today? How many times my ear has hurt because I literally have a child screaming in it? You're just so frazzled and so frustrated by the end of the day that you just don't want to have any part of it. And I think that every single mom goes through that on a regular basis. And if someone tells you otherwise, they're probably selling you a load of crap. And if you see someone on social media sharing the good parts of their life, it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have bad parts in their life. It just means that they are giving the highlight reel, and you need to let them do that because it's good to be able to share the good parts. And if you look at your life, you know you have good parts in your life. If you look at my life, don't think that I have just all good parts of my life. It's a struggle, but I ultimately make the content that I want to make, and that is to, you know, accentuate the positive and to show that motherhood does have good parts. Like, I want to be an encouragement to you moms out there to show, like, even though getting your kids to sleep can be hard, there are still wonderful moments where we're reading a book together and they get the cutest expressions on their face. Well, 30 seconds ago they were screaming their head off because I wouldn't give them this or that. And yeah, I don't want to make my life look perfect, but I do want to show the good parts in it because I do have a lovely life. Oh, well, I'm sorry. My camera cut off at some point during what I was saying, and it's it's probably just, you know, fate telling me to just, you know, stop talking because I was rambling on and on. But let's just sum it up. There are good and bad parts in our life. I choose to share some good parts because I think that it can be encouraging to see good parts, just like it can be encouraging to see bad parts in someone's life. But I'm the sort of influencer who encourages through the lovely parts in my life more so than the not so lovely parts of my life. And that's just what I feel called to do, and that's what I have chosen to do. That might change over the years, but right now that's what it is. But I definitely have bad days. And on that rambling note, I'm gonna end it there because I've got kiddos who are going to wake up from their nap anytime now, and I gotta hustle. I've got stuff to get done before they are up, and the craziness starts all over again because life is crazy. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you don't mind my rambling. If you do mind my rambling, then you can go check out other videos on my channel that are much less rambly than this one. But thank you so much for just sitting down and chatting with me. Thank you for sending in your questions and for just interacting with me. As my channel grows, as my audience grows, I definitely don't want to lose sight of who we are as a community, who we are as moms chatting with each other. And so definitely let me know in the comments your biggest struggle right now. I think by sharing these struggles that we have, we can also comment and encourage each other in the comments here. So share your struggle, but then also scroll through the other people's comments. And if something stands out to you, just send them a word of encouragement. If it's something you have experience with, or if it's something that you can just, you know, let them know, hey, I'm thinking about you, I'm praying about you, hang in there, we're all in this together. Just take the comment section in this video to do that. I love each and every one of you. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. Even as my channel grows, it just feels like such a blessing to have this community of people just to be able to sit down and talk to on a rainy afternoon. I'm very, very blessed. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the little bell button if you haven't done that already, and I will catch you later.